Hi guys, it's Amy from Little Farm Quilts. You'll notice a change of scenery. Alright, so here's the deal. It is 17 degrees right now here. I know that doesn't seem super cold, but to me today it feels really cold. One of the things with my sewing studio being in the basement is that it's colder down there. Which normally isn't an issue for me. I am at the stage of life where I hot flash. I have my own heat going on, so being cooler down there doesn't bother me. But today I have struggled staying warm, which is the first time I can actually say that in, like a year. So I decided it might be nice to do floss tube from up here in my living area. So this is what I call my great room. Great rooms usually have vaulted ceilings. I do not. This is my kitchen, living room, and dining room. I'm actually sitting at my island upstairs in the middle of my kitchen. So behind me, you can see our Christmas tree, and you can see some of our Christmas decorations above. And actually, if I swing you over this way, you see a barn over there. That's a countdown to Christmas. And the blank spot is where I took down one of my FFOs to show you guys. It's cold, so I thought it might be nice since we're coming up on Christmas. Let's do this upstairs with some Christmas decorations in the backdrop. So I gotta give you a little warning. I own 3 dogs, 2 cats, and when I film up here in the main living area, chances are you're gonna hear them at some point in time. So we have a 13-year-old lab, Riley. I'm not sure where he laid down. Oh, he's right there. He has aches and pains, and he's been complaining this evening, so you will hear him complain. He's been medicated, so don't worry. We also have another big dog back there, black one. His name is Dexter. He's a shepherd mix who has hip issues. So if you see him having difficulty getting up off the floor, that's completely normal for him. No worries, okay? And Molly, our other dog, is laying comfortably on the couch. And as I'm looking at you, I'm staring out the door because we have 2, what do you call them, bifold doors, glass panel that go out to our deck, where my cats have decided that they may not want to play out in the sub-zero weather. And they're sitting out there looking at me, so I may have to pause to bring them in. But this is life. This is life. I thought this was a nice backdrop for going into Christmas. This will be my last video until after Christmas. I might film a video while my kids are here to bring to you after Christmas. We've been getting ready for company. So Christmas is coming. I have one more work day. My husband's last day of work was today until the 2nd of January. I work tomorrow, and then I'm off all of next week, but I go back on the 30th. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to spend some time. My mom is going to be traveling down to be with us with her dog tomorrow from the North Country. That'll take her about 5 hours to get down here. So she'll get down here sometime tomorrow afternoon. Our son is coming in on late Sunday night. And our daughter and her boyfriend are coming in Tuesday early afternoon. I think I have that all set. Anyway, so we'll have a full house. We do host Christmas Day. We get a ton of people in here Christmas Day. It's big, it's boisterous, it's fun. We have scheduled a game day with all the kids. So all my kids, well, the kids that will be here, we'll have 3 of our 4 kids around in the area for Christmas. And my nieces and nephew and my brother-in-law and his girlfriend, and we've scheduled a game day. We have lots of stuff just going on, but it's the holiday season and we love it. Matt and my anniversary is Christmas Eve, so we'll have our son and 2 of our daughters here that evening. We'll have a good time, and 2 of my grandkids will be here. And I'm sorry, I'm getting text messages, so hold on. That's gonna bounce the camera for a minute. Doggone it. So this is a good time to mention, I don't want to get into editing videos. You're going to get it the way it is, real, unedited. Sometimes I'm on here. If you haven't joined me before now, I should give you a warning. Sometimes I'm on here without makeup. Sometimes my hair is pulled back in a ponytail because I didn't feel like doing anything with it. Sometimes I have glasses. Sometimes I have my contacts. It depends on how my day goes with my eyeballs. It's just, I feel like I must come across as a hot mess sometimes, but this is our life and it's real. I don't want anybody to ever, I don't want to be accused of putting something fake out there or faking it. We, of course, if you've been following along on Instagram, you know, my husband and I went to New York City not this past weekend, the weekend before. We were gone down there for 4 days. We left here on Thursday, took the train down, came back on Sunday afternoon. We had a blast. It's fun. New York City at Christmas time, I would not want to live there, but I like my nice country house in upstate New York, but it is fun to go there at Christmas time. It's beautiful with all the lights. The energy's great. It's just cool. You should do it. We will go back, I think, in the future. Maybe not every year, but probably every couple, maybe every year. I don't know. But we had fun with that. I did make myself a list today so I would stay on track because I feel like sometimes I get on these videos and I'm all over the place. But so yesterday morning, today is Thursday, December 19th, and I'm hoping this video goes up today. But if it doesn't, just so you know for reference, for me, today is December 19th. It's a Thursday. Yesterday, we got up, did our normal routine, both took our showers, and noticed that everything was backing up into the showers. So, toilet flushing, everything was backing up into the showers. So we had a plumbing issue. We got it stable enough for us to go to work. We went to work, got home last night, and thankfully we fixed it. And everything's working fine now. And everything's been scrubbed now and cleaned. So, rest assured, everything's working. But as you can imagine, yesterday morning, I went to work thinking I've got house guests coming and I have a potentially serious plumbing issue. Little stressful, to say the least. I don't think my husband was worried about it at all. I think he had an idea of what it was, and he wasn't worried about it at all. But I was at work thinking about this, thinking I have a house full, and I'm not going to have any working bathrooms. But thankfully it got fixed and crisis averted. We can have people in our house now, and all bathrooms are fully functional and will remain so. So just putting that out there. It wouldn't be Christmas if something didn't happen to totally throw you off your game. On my sewing side of things, if you're just joining me for the first time, you should look at some of my earlier videos. I am a long arm quilter. As I've stated in previous videos, my business in that gets very busy this time of year. People doing last minute projects, and usually I try to accommodate, and I did again this year. But what I do have set up for myself is I will end all my customer quilting the weekend before, so this past weekend. And for the 2 weeks, the week before Christmas and Christmas, I don't do any customer quilting. So if it's not done by the weekend before Christmas, 2 weekends before Christmas, it won't get done until after Christmas. So I was happy to say I was able to get all that done. Customers are happy. I can't post videos. I won't post any pictures until after Christmas, as they might be seen on social media, and I don't want to ruin anybody's Christmas gifts. So I'm hoping, I've got a couple personal sewing projects going. I have a Christmas Bargello quilt that I'm trying to make for my master bedroom, which will not be done in time for Christmas. And I have a panel. If you follow me on Instagram, I have loaded a panel Um, it's called, I meant to write it down so I remember, A Little Tree. It's by La Bella Boutique, and I believe it's for Moda Fabrics. If I'm wrong, my apologies. I've got a panel. It's called Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas on my long arm now. I am hoping to get that. I have 2 of those panels, and my goal would be to get those 2 quilted and bound. I have the binding all ready to go. It doesn't take long to do those things, so I'm hoping to be able to quilt and bind those and have them up here for Christmas, but I don't know. We'll see. There is a sale going on until, I believe I did it until this Saturday in my Etsy shop. It's 15% off everything, so hop on over there and take a look if you'd like. Can get it to you by Christmas, but you have to pay for the premium shipping because all normal shipping channels, their cutoff dates for normal shipping have passed. So just keep an eye on that. But anyway, so that's that. That's the Etsy shop. Got some personal sewing going on. I always have these really lofty goals for Christmas, but I don't generally feel like sewing Christmas stuff until after Halloween, so that puts me behind the 8 ball already. I'm not somebody who's going to continue to work on Christmas after January unless it's cross stitch probably. So I think the next thing I'm going to show you guys are my FFOs. If you've been following on Instagram, you know that I had finishes. I finished the Mary jar, which is the collaboration between Priscilla Blaine and Hands-On Design Kathy Haberman. I finished both the main piece and the small, and then I was able to FFO them. So I got them done. So this is the Mary jar. And this is on one of the easels this is all magnets. So this comes off. It's this easel that's available at Hobby Lobby. It's a ticking bow with a red sunflower, just because I liked it. And here's the Mary jar. So that is finished. I'm so excited. So excited that I got that done in time for Christmas. And even better, I also was able to FFO the small Mary. How stinking cute is that, if I do say so myself? I just loved what I did with these. I was shocked. I've only been back into cross stitching for, oh gosh, I did Mania last year, so it must be almost a year now, probably a year in like February. I've been back into cross stitch. I've never FFO'd a cross stitch other than to stick it in a frame and hang it on the wall. That was my deal. This is so stinking cute, and this is magnets. So if you remember, I had done one of the other jars and it had sunflowers in it. It was called Harvest. If you also remember, I was not able to get Boo finished, which was the Halloween one. And so that's sitting, we'll go through that in a minute when I go through my whips. But that is sitting here waiting to be finished. I just didn't have time to get it done. I did that quilt show in September. I just did not have time. I'm so beyond excited that I got Mary done. But this finished, this is a bucket that's no longer available at Hobby Lobby. But it's just one of these, and this has got a magnet on it, and it sticks right to it like that. And isn't that cute? I did the white rickrack. I did that around the large piece as well, and then this is just leftover Christmas fabric. See, it's got little snowflakes on it. It's a teeny buffalo check with snowflakes on it, and these are now sitting in my great room for Christmas. I'm so excited. I really like them, and I'm so happy I got them done. I was really wondering, because on the trip to New York City, I was able to finish the next one I'm showing you. On the trip home on the train, I put the last few stitches on this, and then I worked on Mary. But I really didn't get as much stitching done on that train trip as I thought I was gonna. The train trip was a little bumpy, and so at times cross-stitch became kind of frustrating. Trying to get your needle into a hole in the fabric, a specific hole, when it's a bumpy ride, that's a tough thing to do. And it got a little frustrating. So I didn't get anywhere near as much stitching as I thought I was going to get done. So I'm so super happy that I got that done. Hold on, I'm going to be right back. Hold on. Come on, kitty kitty. Come on. And I'm back, just like that. I had to let my cat in, sorry. And I found out the hard way that if I pause this video, then I have to go back and re-record, and we don't want to do that. And I don't want to edit videos, as I said before. So, anyway, that was letting the cat in. So my third FFO was, I was doing the stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube and Lori Holt. Her pattern, Bringing Home the Tree. And I FFO'd this. And you guys can tell I like the ticking ribbon. I use it on everything. And this is a little cotton here. And this is a frame. I do not put the glass in. This is a frame that I got at Walmart. It's kind of a barnwood look frame, but it's not real barnwood, you know. And I put a little batting under the piece and just framed it. And that is what hangs in the, well, there's a hole on my wall that you can't quite see because it's quite off camera, that this hangs there, and it's pretty, and I like it. And so I'm happy I got those done. Those were a couple of my goals for Christmas time, so I'm happy I got them done. I'm happy. I had said that I was going to do a Christmas home tour. I'm not doing that this year. There's a couple of reasons for that. So, not a lot. So I don't have everything ultimately decorated for Christmas. So that's one thing. The second thing is I don't have a lot of cross-stitch pieces up in my decorating yet because, as I said, I just got back into cross-stitching, and I'm using, I'm getting things done for this Christmas, but by next Christmas I'll have a lot more. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing some of the decorations that I do have, like I've done a 3-tiered tray that's just off camera here, that sits on my island, that's really pretty. Just go into my Instagram. There are pictures. You can flip right through them all. I do post everything on Instagram, and you can even see that 3-tiered tray a lot in what I post for cross stitches, because very often I use the island because it's a nice black stone island, and that 3-tiered tray is a backdrop for my cross stitches. So take a look at it over there. Those are my FFOs. Okay, so let's do haul first because my whips is kind of a lengthy story. So we'll do haul first. You guys know that I'm working on Snow Village, which is the stitch along. It's a club actually with Fat Quarter Shop. I am working on the third part of that club. I think I should have brought it over to I have it here to show you my progress, so I'll show you that. But what I was looking for one day was trim. I'm finishing them all separately, and I'm finishing them in a way that they can all hang together. So they're not going to be in frames, but I do want them all hanging together in one space on my wall over winter time. And I have a specific space in mind. So I was looking, because they're snowmen, for snowball trim. So I picked up a bunch of white snowball trim. And I just think it'll be nice. I think my thought is to lace these onto foam core board and line them with the pom-pom trim and use ribbons to hang and have them designed on a wall as I get them finished. So that's my thought. Let's see how it goes. The second thing I have for haul is I'm part of the, I just canceled it. And I'll tell you why. It wasn't because the club was bad. I was part of the Ada Club at Fat Quarter Shop. And I just got the last one, which is Touch of Gray. It's 14 count Ada from Wichell. And it's pretty. It's a really pretty color. I just canceled my club with that for many reasons, okay? But it wasn't because the club was bad. I think it was great. My stockpile of Ada and linens and Monaco is building. And I don't want a ton of it. So until I get more projects stitched and my stockpile of the fabric goes down, I'm just going to kind of limit myself on what I purchase. That being said, I have a lot of 14 count Aida, and I have been kind of experimenting more on the linens, even weaves, and Monaco. And I have been kind of dyeing my own in that regard, so you'll see those coming up in some of the future starts I'm going to have, which we'll talk about when we get into whips, because I have a whole plan going on in my head. We'll see how that goes. But I actually stopped that membership just because I don't need any more, and I don't want to be that person that has a million pieces of fabric that she can stitch on. I have plenty, trust me, to probably go into retirement with, so we just ended that. The other club I belong to at Fat Quarter Shop is called the Floss Fix. And this month, sorry I'm gonna yawn, it's evening. This dark early crap kills me. It makes me start yawning at 4:30 in the afternoon, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, it's called Floss Fix. It is fancy floss. For those of you that don't know what fancy floss is, it is over-dyed thread. DMC floss is the same color throughout all of it. Fancy floss, I believe, was a term coined actually by the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. I could be wrong on that, Priscilla and Chelsea. Is over-dyed threads, and they have a little variegation in them, so they work a little differently. But this Floss Fix for December was called Country Red, so I'm going to show you these. The first one I'm going to show you is Barn Door, and I'm hoping these come up on camera. You see the variegation in there? That's called Barn Door. The next one is called Bandana. And my camera's doing a really good job at picking them up. It's got a little bit of a purpley hue to it. I'm hoping you guys can see that. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Ruby Slippers. And you can see there is variegation through there, different depth of color. This is Licorice Red. And I know they all look the same, but when you put them together, they're really not. See? See? And then there's two more. This is Holly Berry. And I'm going to put them all together again so you can see just how different they all are. And the last one is Red Ribbon, which I have started using in one of my projects. So here they are all together. And you can see there's quite the variety of red there. And this club I really enjoy being part of. I enjoy getting my stock of fancy floss up, because what I've started to do is change colors in patterns. And I have a couple patterns that I've gotten that I can see me changing those colors as well. And it's kind of broadened my horizons as far as not always using the called for. Using the called for is fine. And sometimes I look at a pattern and the called for colors, that's what I want. There's other times when I look at a pattern and I love the pattern, but the called for colors aren't really the look I'm going for. And I'll show you an example of that when we go through the whips, because I really have... You're going to think I'm crazy pants. All right, the last of my haul is some new patterns. God, Lord knows I do not need new patterns, but these were kind of bucket list patterns for me. I am not sure that I'm going to turn you just a little bit because I feel like I'm falling off the stool. I'm not sure that I'm going to buy any more patterns right now. I really have a lot of cross stitch patterns. So what this is where you're going to think I'm nuts. I'm already thinking about Mania. So for those of you that followed along last year or didn't follow along, I did a video every day of May last year, or this year. I started a new cross stitch start every day. I believe that right now I have enough projects downstairs to fill another Mania. So I'm going to stop buying patterns. I belong to the Chalkful Club at Fat Quarter Shop, so I will get that pattern. I belong to the Snow Village at Fat Quarter Shop as well, so I will get those patterns. But as far as pattern buying outside of that, I think I'm going to put a halt to that until I figure out Mania, because I really do think that I have enough patterns and then some for Mania, which means more than I could possibly stitch in a year. I'm just putting that out there. I work a full-time job. I work some weekends, although it's rare. We have other things in life going on. There's just no way. Plus my sewing stuff. It's not like cross stitch is all I do, you know? So I really have to stop and think about this a little bit. My theory has always been that once I retire, which is not all that far off, a little ways off yet, but not that far, that I would have enough to keep me busy without having to buy anything, because I'll be on a limited income then. I don't know. I just think that's, for me, that just gets a little nutsy. So anyway, this was my last ditch at patterns for at least a little bit. And maybe I'll change my mind in a week. I don't know. So I ordered this one. This one came from Italy. This is from Madame Chantilly. It is Celebrate Christmas. She had one that was Celebrate Halloween. I'm not a huge Halloween girl, but this one I really liked. And this one I think I'm going to change colors on. And I'm also think I'm going to do this on a darker fabric instead of a lighter. But that's that. That came all the way from Italy, so that's kind of cool. This is Silver Creek Samplers, and this is, I believe, Christmas List. My Christmas List, it's called. See, now you have glare. And I always forget that you need to take these out of the plastic. You guys just need to say it. Amy, take them out of the plastic, because this is kind of crazy. I don't like you to get glare. I want you to see. This, again, is Silver Creek Samplers. It is My Christmas List. And that's that. I'm definitely going to change colors on this too. Just because the colors that are in it aren't really my style, and I am doing this one for me. Some things I do for my show in September, but there are other things that I do for myself. So the other thing I got was the Prairie Schooler Christmas Alphabet. I got this for, and I'll see if I can get it out of the plastic. I bet I can't. I got this because I was watching the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, and they were using this and using their own colors, and they were just basically spelling out Christmas or Merry Christmas if they had time, things like that. I'm not sure what I will do with this yet, but I know that I like the thought of using letters to make a banner. And you can see on the front page, that's what they did, Merry Christmas, those banners that are there. And I really like the thought of that. But I think you could do a ton of things. I think you could use the letters to spell your grandkids' names and make banners for them to put up in their rooms. I think you could, I don't know, you could do a ton of stuff. You could do a Mr. and a Mrs. And you could change the colors up to be, you know, the colors of the wedding. Do you know what I mean? Like a color scheme that goes with a wedding. There's just a ton that you could do with this, I think. And of course, I'm not going to be able to get this one back in the plastic to save my life. But I just think there's a lot of ideas, and I like the patterns of the letters. So, oh, I got it back in. I got it back in. See? Good to go. But I think there's a lot you could do with the letters. Lots of gift ideas, and I've looked at them. They're pretty quick stitches, I think. So it'd be interesting. I think Kimberly in Fat Quarter Shop is doing a stitch along right now with those. Some people are doing them vertical. Some people are doing side to side. Some people are doing them on light fabric. Some people are doing them on dark. So if you're interested, go on over there. I'll see if I can link it down below. But anyway, next thing I got was Reindeer Feed Sack by Carriage House Samplings, which I had never heard of them before. but I like this a lot. And I think it's because I like the whole farmhouse thing. I don't know if I'll use the called for fabrics and stuff on here, but I definitely am going to print that. So that's that. And the last pattern that I got is Shocker. It is a hands-on design. Holly Jolly Farm is a collaboration between Priscilla Blaine and Kathy Haberman. Shocker. I like this chalkboard stuff. It's almost an addiction. I have others of it. You'll see when we go through my whips. And I have actually more hanging on my pegboard downstairs as well. That's why I say I have a lot of patterns. I really kind of need to hold back on that. And I need to also use the floss colors that I have. So this is Holly Jolly Farm. And so this is the last pattern that I've acquired right now. And of course it's a Christmas pattern. So, because that's what I'm in the mood for right now. All right, so let's talk about whips. I'm not one of those people that I have to work on one project, get it done, and move on. I like to have many projects going at one time because, quite honestly, I get bored. That was one of the things with sewing and cross stitch. It allows me the ability to go back and forth between them. I don't get bored. I stay active, and doing things in winter in upstate New York can sometimes be, you know, it is what it is. I don't like being cold. I go out there to feed the ducks. There's nothing to do with the bees this time of year. So, you know, yeah. I lived in the northern tip of Maine for a while where it was really bitter cold at times in the wintertime. I'm not a huge fan of being cold. I really don't like extremes, to be quite honest with you. So I don't like being cold and I don't like being super hot. So it is what it is. But anyway. Oh, sorry. Yawning again. I don't know why I get on camera and all of a sudden I got a yawn. But I had a bunch of whips left over from Mania, and I had worked a lot of them through, and I only had, we'll have to count them when I go through. I should have brought a pen so I could keep track, but I'll try to keep track of it. Let me move some of these things out of the way so I can pull my whip bin over. I wanted to organize my whips and see what I had and try to develop some sort of plan in my head, because I'm working on these because I like them. So I really would like to get them done. I have what I would call 3 long-term projects. The first one I'm going to show you, this is called Lost No More, and it's a dimensions kit that I must have started, oh, I don't know. I would venture to say almost a decade ago. I wonder if it has like a publication year on it. It's a full coverage piece, which I would never do again. I wonder if it has a publication date. I don't see one. But anyway, it's this one. And I started this like 10 years ago. I do call this a long-term project. And I'm going to show you, I haven't really worked on it. I think I worked on it briefly last year. A little bit, but I haven't worked on it earnestly in a very long time. And you can tell because I used masking tape on the edges of the Aida, I believe. This is 16 count Aida, and I have this much of it done. It even smells old. So it's got to be at least 10 years. So this is one of my long-term projects that I'm going to put back in the rotation again. This is actually the only cross-stitch project that I've had going for years and years and years until I got back into it. So that's the first one. The second long-term project is the Snow Village that I'm doing at Fat Quarter Shop. And the reason I'm calling it a long-term project is because you get a pattern a month, and I think it goes for like 10 or 11 months. So we had... This is part 1, which I'm just going to refresh your memory. Part 1. And I have this all in the same project bag, so I can keep them all together. This was part 2. This was the skates and sleighs shop. Skates and sleds. And I have started on part 3, which is, what is it? Oh, snowflakes. Snowflake shop. So that's that. And I would classify this as a long-term project because it's long-term. I won't have all the patterns until next year, so it's an ongoing long-term project. I'm classifying long-term projects differently because it's not fair to get a unrealistic expectation on when to get it done because it's got time constraints. The third long-term project I have going, and this is because it's a multiple part project, it's 7 parts long, I believe. It is Jack Frost Tree Farm, and I have shown this to you guys before because I decided I was going to start it. I started part 1, which is, let me see if I can get it out of this plastic bag. This is the top piece. I am doing it all as one piece, this one. So I'm working on the top piece. Okay, and I don't have a ton of it done. I haven't really been working on it hog nuts. I've been working on the Mary jar, trying to get that done. So this is what I would call a long-term project, and I don't actually think I have all the flosses for this, but I'm working with what I got. So this is the little section I have done with the deer and some of the border. So that's that. Those are my 3 long-term projects. Those are going to take a while for me to finish. They will not be included in Mania or anything thereof. They're just things that I'm going to be working on in the rotation. So besides that, I should count up what I have here. So those are my 3 long-term projects. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 whips. 9 whips. Sorry, there's another one next to me. So a lot of these you've seen before and I haven't done anything on since. So I'm not gonna bore you by showing you what I haven't worked on. I don't even know what this one is, so I have to kind of look and see. No, I haven't worked on that one either. And some of these are from Mania. Some of these are new starts recently because of Christmas. But anyway, I would like to get those done. I would love to get all these whips done besides the long-term projects before Mania and then just start 31 new ones. But a couple things happened when I was going through my whips this morning. I want to show you 2 new ones that I started just because it's Christmas time and I feel like stitching on Christmas. This, let me see if I can get to the right page of this pattern. It's called The Christmas Calendar by Tiny Modernist. And you can see the barn over my shoulder back there. It's got a little chalkboard on it that you're supposed to write days till Christmas. Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to stitch the days till Christmas. So this is the pattern. And this is one of those ones where I like the pattern, but I wasn't cool on the color scheme doesn't really go with my house. My house is very farmhousey. So I started number 9 because that happened to be, I started this on the 9th day before Christmas, which we're not there anymore, and you'll see how far I got. But this, I changed the colors. So I made the number, it's Classic Colorworks Black Coffee, I think. Is that what it's called? I think it's Black Coffee. And then the mittens are ribbon red. That's what I stole the ribbon red for. And this is on Coffee Tea Dyed Monaco. And on this particular one, I'm using a ballpoint needle. I am actually enjoying the ballpoint needles. The only thing I don't like about them is I think on some projects they're just too long. But I like that. So that's that one. The other, not new start, but one that I recently picked back up is called It's also by Tiny Modernist. It's called Christmas Signs. And that's this one. And I had started it and then I stopped stitching on it for some reason. I'm stitching it on what looks like, I didn't keep the label for the fabric. It looks like an even weave 32 count linen, and it's in a natural color. And this is what I put this in a hoop. So you don't see me stitch in a hoop very often. I have an issue with stitching white on linen. I don't know what it is, but I tend to not be able to get my stitches in the right place or the right holes, and it's only with white, and I don't understand why. So I have a small hoop, and I put it in a small hoop, and I'm working on this one with Santa and Mrs. Claus, the one down here. And I got the Christmas word done today. And I got some of this white trim. And I do not have all the colors for this either. My mom is bringing hers down. I'm missing 2 colors, and she's bringing them down when she comes, which will save me a trip to a store, which is good. So that's my whips. For those of you that haven't been following along, so I usually have one that I work on at my office for dial-in meetings, at my lunch, things like that. And dial-in meetings, let's just preface this. The reason I work on them during those meetings is because they help me listen better. It occupies my creative brain, and it helps me listen better. So that's that. And I do stitch during my lunch. A lot of times, because us managers get together for lunch, I will eat at my desk and then stitch while I'm sitting with them at lunch. Or I'll eat real quick at lunch and then spend a good portion of the time stitching. I just find that stitching calms my soul, and in my profession, things can get kind of stressful, and I just like to center. So when I was going through my whips, which seems daunting enough, there's actually 2 more, and I pulled them out. I pulled them out because I love the pattern. I don't like how they're looking on the fabric and maybe the called for colors that I'm doing them. So I'm going to pull them from my working list of whips, and I'm going to put the patterns back on my pegboard and re-kit them probably for Mania with different colors and different fabrics. I think I just didn't know enough about what I liked in cross stitch. So this first pattern I actually love, and you guys are going to know why, because I'm a beekeeper. It's called Bee Garden. It's by Heartstring Sampler. It's a very cute little cross stitch. And I started it not with the called for colors necessarily. I think I started with the DMC conversion. And I started on white 16 count. No, maybe it's 14. No, I think it's 16 count Ada. And here's what it looks like. And I don't like those colors at all. At all. Like, not even a little. And I don't typically like the white Ada. I like the white Ada on Bring Home the Tree because I thought the colors popped nicely on that. I just don't like this. So, but I like how it came out on this. So I think what I'm going to do is work on getting the called for colors and the called for fabric, and re-kit it. So that will go back in my pattern stash and be re-kitted at a later date. So I'm pulling it out of my whip rotation. The other one that I'm pulling out of my whip rotation, which almost breaks my heart, although I did not get a lot done on this. This is another collaboration between Hands On Design, Kathy Haberman, and Priscilla Blaine. It's called Carrots and Cottontails Farm. It is cute, and I love it. But this was like one of the first of these series that I got, and I just didn't know what I didn't know. I did it on black Ada with DMC conversions, and I only got a tiny bit done, like not even enough to mention really. This. I like chalkboard Ada better than the black Ada with these designs. And I like the over-dyed floss better than I like the DMC with these designs. So this is also going to be pulled out of my whip rotation. It'll be re-kitted at a later date, probably for Mania this year. And so that I have 9 whips, did I say, and 3 long-term cross stitches. That's plenty. Plenty for me to be working on. And who knows, it may get past Christmas and I may not want to work on the Christmas ones again because I'm like that with my sewing. So I kind of wonder if I'm going to be like that with the cross stitch too. But we'll see. My goal is to just keep finishing things. So I'm not adding any more starts to this working rotation. I will keep working these, and I go through these on a pretty regular basis. I will work on one for, let's say, a couple of days straight, you know, both evenings, and then all of a sudden I'll switch to something else. Or I'll get almost done with something, and then I'll make sure to finish it before I move on. One of the whips in here is the small boo jar. If you remember, I don't know if I can get to it real quick. If you remember, here it is. This was boo, and I got the large one done, but did not get the small one done. So this is in my whips, because I need to get the small one done. The large one I got done. I just haven't FFO'd it. But they have another jar coming out. So as that jar comes out, that will add to my whips. So will Snow Village. So those 2 things will be constantly adding to my whips. So I kind of want to get some of these other things done. And that's how I think I'm going to roll. I am going to start thinking about Mania, and that I do need to probably start collecting some floss for those. I think my camera keeps going back and forth between focusing on me and focusing on the tree. That could be an issue. Sorry if that's been doing that the whole time. It's probably bugging your eyes out. And now we're bouncing. Of course. You can't be an eventless video with me. Come on. It's always got to have some technical issues or something. So that's how I'm going to attack the whips. I was starting to talk about Mania. I need to start acquiring fancy floss. Like if I want to do them in the over-dyed floss and not the DMC, DMC is definitely more cost effective. I don't usually worry about buying floss, but if I change colors, I need time to look at the pattern, look at the colors I might want to do. So I am going to start putting my Mania together, probably starting in the first of the year. I am also working on this year's mystery quilt with Bonnie Hunter called Frolic. Clues 1 through 3 have come out. I'm almost done with clue 3. I am hoping to do some of that tonight. I'm actually, after this video and while it uploads, I'm going to go take my contacts out, give my eyes a rest, and go down and try finishing clue 3 because clue 4 comes out tomorrow. And I'd like to be caught up on that. Just one last thing. If you watch my video and it posts and I don't have all the links down below, do not fret. Come back and check because I may not have time to post all the links tonight, but I will get on and post them tomorrow. But the video will go up tonight. So just so you know, I just wanted to call out some floss tubers I've been watching. So Nicole at Nick Stitches. She's funny. I thought I was pretty real, but I think she's more real than I am. Like, I thought I didn't mince words. She really doesn't mince words. And I like watching her. She's fun. Lisa at Kindred Stitcher. I like watching her as well. I like watching a ton. I'm only going to name a few each time because I feel like if I name a million, it all gets convoluted. And you guys won't check these people out. They're just fun to watch. Even if you don't cross stitch, they're fun to watch. It's just fun. Michelle at Farm Girl. And the new one that I found is Married with Stitches with Christian and Derek. I have found them, I find them hysterically funny as a couple. And just great that they do something together because my husband and I like to do things together. He does not cross stitch, by the way, and he does not quilt, but he definitely supports my passions, and we do a lot of other stuff together. So it's all good. But I want you to check those guys out. I will put their links below as well. If not tonight when this video goes up, I will edit it tomorrow, and those will go up. But thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for support. I have gotten lots of comments and feedback and support lately. I was really questioning whether I would continue doing floss tubes. But I guess I will. Anyway, it's fun. Thanks for sharing my crazy with me. And you guys have a very Merry Christmas. Spend some time with your family. Enjoy them. And if this Christmas is difficult for you for any reason, please know that you're not alone. Okay? Merry Christmas, everybody. I'll see you after.